Not really much to say this morning. I mean, we were just talking about Chrono Trigger should be remade because it's technically a more complex game for Super NES than Final Fantasy VI. Morning. Yeah, I was gonna say something about the first sponsor for the team, but I was like, ooh, it's a realty. Oh, they only deal with $500,000 or, well, I mean, the one I looked at was $400,000, but they deal with $500,000 condos. Yeah. And they're a bronze sponsor for $250. Either we're gonna be saving for my player fee or I'm begging mom. Somehow.
You know, it could just be that they didn't want to spend the money because it's an untested market and someone else will want to.
I get it. Aaron sent off the thing to Boom Fitness. Should I just text you about Black Bear?
Yes, please.
I'll send him a text about 1:30. You don't have to do it then, but that'll remind you.
Yeah.
But then I remembered that I was talking with Eric von Metzger on Facebook about Chrono Trigger should be remade. Like, they'll remake... Like, they've remade Final Fantasy VII and redone it like 7 times, and it's gotten...
HD remake.
3 spin-offs? Or something like that? And they've done like 2 prequels and an After Effect movie, and now they're remaking it for the PS4. I'm like, no. No. It wasn't that great to begin. I mean, it was a Final Fantasy story. But if you want to talk about great games that were involved, Chrono Trigger. Holy shit.
So I never played any of them, Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, any of the other SNES RPGs. But everything I've heard about Chrono Trigger, it's a damn impressive game.
I love its music too. Frog's theme is like almost those weird, like emotional, like you're like, man, this is, you know. And then like, cause it was 8-bit, 16-bit music, whatever was the Super NES, 16-bit music, and so they'll take that and they threw it through. I love our language. I threw it through. They did. A MIDI player or something, and they orchestrated it. They basically converted the... Anyways, I don't know how they did it. These people are weird.
They're magicians. I don't remember if SNES was 16 or 32-bit.
16.
Okay, Google. What was the 32-bit Nintendo game?
The big square fuck thing.
Super Nintendo.
What? I thought the next one after that. I don't know. What the hell was 16-bit about it then? Because I remember the number 16.
Maybe that it had the extender. Yeah, always Wikipedia.
But anyways, so, but it was still what we call video game music.
Yeah.
And I've played Frog's theme for you before.
Yeah.
Aw, man. It's full too.
Yeah.
Holy, well, not that full. It just looks full when you look at it on end.
So the NES was 16-bit.
What I thought. I had Nintendo Power at the time. I read up on all the Nintendo stuff. I'll read magazines. People are like, oh, you don't read books? I'm like, yeah, but I can read.
And you do. Just
I don't read pictureless, boring, smelly books. Good Lord, some of those books smell. They smell like soggy wood, but whatever. That's a debate for another time. But yeah, it's like, why not redo Chrono Trigger? You literally have the graphics now to do like crap tons of time travel and like shoot it forward off into the distance, you know, with the epoch. And how wonderful can you make the Xiao Palace look? Not that he played it and knows what I'm talking about. Like hell, Lavos in and of itself could be way redone.
So during the 32-bit era, which is what Wikipedia calls it, it was still 16-bit, and like Donkey Kong Country rivaled the aesthetic quality of games that were being released on newer 32-bit CD-based consoles. But it wasn't.
That's where Sega CD came in.
Yeah. I don't think Nintendo had a 32-bit.
No, they skipped straight to the, and I remember it while we were watching N64.
What about...
Here comes your train again.
GameCube Nintendo?
Yes, but that's well after. GameCube was the answer to the PS2. That was what's weird, is because everything else was like 32-bit and 64-bit systems, and they were on CD. But the N64 was still 64 and was using the console system with the plug-in stuff. That's what made it weird. Even though it couldn't even though it was not backwards compatible. And that's why I'm still like that's why I'm super complaining, is because I can understand that, you know, the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo and the N64 aren't compatible because you literally can't fit the same thing in there.
Yeah.
You know, same thing happened with the Game Boy after a while, but they eventually came up with modifications for that. But the CDs are all fucking CDs or DVDs or Blu-rays, they're the same fucking size! Well, anyways.
Oh yeah, this is a good train.
It's a good train. A good train.
It is a good train.
Today, this one is a good train to ride. Yeah. That didn't have the right meter to it. So it's currently 8:21. I almost read that as 15. But anyways, so I was browsing Facebook while I don't like to do Duolingo on the phone too often. You know, it's better in some cases to like hit a specific, I don't like to do it on the phone. Sometimes I just like to hit the strengthen skills. So I was browsing Facebook while I was getting Indian food out of me, and I saw the whole thing about Planet X. Planet 9, actually. They call it Planet X, which in Roman numerals is 10, but it's not 10, but technically shouldn't be. We've had that Pluto discussion before. Regardless, they're calling it Planet 9. Here's the thing. They haven't discovered it. Here's the thing. This, whenever this was made, is about as discovered as what that planet is. So is this. So I understand these are currently now, they've been discovered. We've already finished off to the noble gas. But that's what we're talking about here. You know, this 9th planet is as discovered as string theory, which for those of you who haven't ventured into that high level of, I mean, even ventured, like, you know, walking up to the fence and looking inside is what I consider venturing. Some people are like, wow. Whereas I've actually hopped the fence and tried to wade in a little bit, and I stepped in cow poop and went, this is dumb. I mean, it's not that it's dumb, but I'm like, I'm not walking any further. I'm gonna die. But at least I have an idea what it is. Anyways, that aside, hilarious metaphor, this planet fits the math. That's it. Here's the crazy thing, because we watched SciShow last night, or we watched 2 things last night about the planet. We don't know that string theory is right. We have come up with a formula and a series of equations that basically describes a bunch of vibrating strings. And that's how our brain conceptualized it, is vibrating strings of energy. And it fits the math. As we know of physics right now, it fits the math. But we can't prove it. There's even debate whether or not we'll be able to prove it. This 9th planet, they show pictures of it, we haven't seen it. The running theory is that it orbits the sun every 200,000 years. Right? Some insane amount. That that in a way, it also can orbit around another star, that we're like in some weird dual planet. We're like it's a giant planet, that we're in a binary. This is the thing. We haven't seen it, but it fits the math. It's the easiest thing that fits the math, actually. It's as much of a thing of saying gay marriage became legal. Gas prices fell. Therefore, gays control the gas prices. That's the gay agenda. Lower gas prices. When we get things, we lower the gas prices. That's as far as it is. Because without, you know, except there's more to this. There's like, they've done the math and they've looked at all the various, like 9 Kuiper Belt objects that orbit, and they're all like, why are they going this direction? They should be, you know, evenly spread, or in some way the model of gravitational influence is not fitting with them very well. Why are they all like in this direction? You know, there's more of them, but they're all in this direction. The sun's here. They're all like orbiting, say my fingers are each of the orbits, they're orbiting this way. They should be doing something like this. So obviously if everything's going this way, there's got to be something going over here. Counterbalances, because nature loves balance. The universe, or nature, loves balance. But that's that. They haven't seen it. There's no pictures of it. We don't know it actually exists. It just happens to be the easiest thing that's actually plausible in the universe as we know it, that fits the math. Like, we're looking at a planet 10 times the size of Earth. That's, I mean, Jupiter's still way, way, way bigger. But, I mean, hell, 3 Earths fit in the Great Red Spot, so you can see. I will chat with you guys tomorrow. Remember, it's a football gear video. I mean, it's football season, so I'm gonna do that one. I've had a request. It's probably gonna go viral on Tumblr. I hope so. Not viral. I mean, viral on Tumblr to me is like anything over about 30 notes. So, yeah. I'm gonna have to get the, hang on, I'm gonna chat with you guys later.